titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes. Look at us. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Dr. Huge Show. Of course, I'm Dr. Huge. We got the Drew McIntyre ending CM Punk's 2024 WrestleMania main event, shirt from last year. Love this one. It's a good one. Look at that face. Drew McIntyre, you're crazy, bro. Yep. Anyway, there's plenty to talk about with wrestling. As you've known, if you've been watching this show, I've been backing off wrestling a lot lately, as you can see, right? I mean, not really, but I am. I'm not really talking about the show as much. Back in the day, we would bring up segments in the show and what's going on with this angle and how we can make it better. Like, we're kind of done with that. Of course, we can, elaborate and talk about things that are happening on some of the big matches or whatever. But as far as like being invested in 20 hours a week plus of pro wrestling and trying to keep up with it all and all this, like, no way. That's no yeet for me.
No yeet.
So I'm focusing more on real life storylines, whether it's in pro wrestling or not. Things that I find entertaining, that I know you'll find entertaining. So like and should subscribe and share. But that's what we're doing now. We may have a guest today. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. You know how that goes. Yep. So, yeah, we got Matt Riddle talk. We have some Angle news, some Hogan news every week with this Hulk Hogan. Passed away. Feels like years ago now, right, brother? Hold on, we're talking about Hulk Hogan. We have to hold him in our hands when we do it. Right, brother? But we got a lot of clips to watch. Kind of like last week's show when we went over the whole Raja situation. We fixed racism. We did it all. We hooked it up for everybody. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me out there? Am I coming through the mic? I don't know. It looks like it's working for me. So, you know how I always start off the show by myself and then the audio's not working for whatever reason. Yeah. So more news on that later. More news on this Doug Mallow. I now know the name. He's the guy that was involved with the Roger Jackson situation from last week. Rampage did Ariel Helwani's show this past week. Everybody does his show, bro. Why? Because he's got that big screen TV in his room. I can get a big screen TV. Then I'll invite Rampage and Seth Rollins and Cross to come over here, and I'm sure they'll love to see. They would love to look through all these toys and autographs and everything in here. Yep. So let's do some plugging before we really get into the business and what I just laid out to everybody there. This is where you go. All the links here for the Dr. Huge Show. You want Dr. Huge to stay around forever, don't you? I know some of you don't, but you're going to have to deal with me for life, brother. But the people that do, like Paladin and all the rest, that's where you go. That's where you find all the links. I will be updating a lot soon. I know I keep talking about eBay. I'm not selling through a third party ever again. I even hear eBay's got problems, right? There's all kinds. Good luck scamming me, because I'm only listing limited amounts of stuff and things that have to do with the show. T-shirts, hats, cups. But I'm doing it. I have to do it myself, or else my custies have to wait like 5 to 10 months before they get their stuff. And that's just not how we do business over here at Hugen Studios. Yep. I'm going to tell everybody what to do. How about that? That's my job around here. Like, I'm a fake doctor. So if I wasn't telling people what to do and then telling them that you better heed my advice or else suffer the consequences, right? Mm-hmm. Man, this wrestling fucking stinks, everybody. You know, I'm trying to be nice about it. Like Kevin Brennan says, it's the holidays, or it was just a holiday last week, so I'm trying to be nice. But this pro wrestling, for people like me, I want to know if you're like me, everybody. And if you're not like me, that's fine. We need other people in the world, too, to make this thing interesting. I don't want everybody being a genius like I am. But when it comes to the entertainment I'm watching, of course we know this too much. Talk about it every week now. There's way too much of this shit. There's way too many wrestlers. Way too many people trying to get into the wrestling business. It's just a never-ending cycle of scripted fights. Every day, every week. None of it matters anymore. Yeah, all I really see out here now are just like hot chicks and retirement parties. That's what this is now. Hot chicks and retirements. John Cena retiring, AJ Styles. I'm hearing he's going out. The whole wrestling business is changing, morphing. The whole world's morphing into the shits.
It's the shits.
Total shits. And, you know, I don't want any part of it. This NFL came out the other night. You know, I used to be so pumped for the kickoff. The first game of the year. I didn't care this year. I didn't even watch the Super Bowl last year. I watch football, but I just didn't care. They added games. They're stretching out stuff. We got games now on Thursday and Friday. I have to watch football on a Friday night on YouTube. What?
It's the shits.
So do you see, like, in every type of entertainment, sports, pro wrestling, you know, boxing is even, we know boxing's been kind of rigged and all this for many, many years. You know, all the shady dealings going on behind the scenes with the promoters and stuff. But now that's totally went off the rails as well. Jake Paul is like one of the biggest names in boxing. Like, really? It just sucks. Everything sucks. The UFC kind of sucks now. I mean, what's the UFC? It's like a bunch of Russian dudes holding everybody down. It's not that entertaining to me. Holding people down. That's entertainment. I'm going to go to a stadium, you know, and sit in the nosebleeds and watch a spec just lay on another man. Like you fucking just had a heart attack after some bumping and grinding. That's crazy. I wouldn't do that.
It's the shits.
Mm-mm. And then on top of it all, they want to space it out. Go to this streaming network. Go to that streaming network. Buy this, buy that. Spend your money over here. Now spend it over there. It's all way overpriced. Like TKO's talking about, I'm hearing it through the news and the Forbes magazines and things, right? That WWE and TKO mainly, you know, they know that they're overpricing shit. But they're like, hey, people are paying for it. So we're just going to continue to add shows and keep, because you guys are such suckers that you'll buy all of this. All of it? I'm not one of those people. I know my little boycott means very, very little when we're talking about TKO and WWE and how they just they're like laughing in everybody's faces like, yeah, we're going to continue to make more money because thanks. Thank you, right? $40,000, $70,000 2-night seats. Oh, it's front row though. Whoa. Yeet. Yeah, let's get all excited for front row, $70,000 seats. Yeet. Oh, they let you go in the ring though, and you can meet a few people. And you know what you could do with $70,000, Triple H, Nick Khan, Ari Emanuel. Yeet. You know what you could do with that? That's a lot of money to the common man. but are the common people really buying these things? I heard a story this week, the guy in the green shirt or whatever that goes to all these shows, he's just travels around with them everywhere, and I think he's locked into a price. And man, this corporate stuff, I don't like this world. It's not even a week by week thing now. Every single day, everything that I like and have always been into, music, art. Oh, we got Danny Damage here. What's up?
Hello, good evening.
I'm just bitching about music, art, everything right now is just terrible. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
It's crazy. And they're overpricing everything.
Yeah. Well, with music, I don't know if you mentioned it, but just with Spotify, £9 a month or whatever it is, you can get everything. So,
where'd you go?
I don't know. I didn't press anything. Can you hear me?
You're still there, and your voice is still there. Wait a second. What?
Okay. I'll just steamroll through it. Yeah, for Spotify, $9.99 or whatever it is a month, and you get everyone's catalogue. What did people expect was going to happen? Ticket prices for shows are just going to skyrocket, because when a band used to sell a CD for like £15 over here, they'd see maybe £1 of it. You know what I mean? It would be a small amount compared to what everybody else on the chain, the production chain, gets. So then now when they get fuck all like online, and it's just they have to make money with T-shirts and live shows, that's why T-shirts are £50 or tickets are just ridiculous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was seeing a post online last week about AEW, and they're like, how do you feel about these T-shirt prices? And they were like $35. And I'm like, it's kind of what it is now, right?
Mm.
That's overpriced for me. Of course, a T-shirt is $35, but still, compared to a lot of other places, yeah, they're going up to $50 now for a T-shirt.
If the quality remained, that'd be fine. Like the last T-shirt from WWE I got was the LA Knight bright yellow T-shirt, but already the neck on that started to curl and everything, and so as well as them costing loads, they've put their production costs down. Whereas at one point everything was just like those Fruit of the Loom T-shirts. I think this is probably and just they last longer and they don't curl and fray in the neck as much. And I still have some wrestling T-shirts from the early noughties that I've worn the shit out of, but they're still holding pretty well. That Stone Cold Steve Austin one where he's stunning the Rock that I've got, that's like 2002, 2001 maybe, and I've worn that a lot, and it's held strong. The T-shirts now, it's
stuff now they'll just peel off and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. That's how the food is. Everything's shrinking, but it becomes more expensive. You know, a bag of chips already was like half air, and now it's like 3/4 air. So you're buying a bag of air. Hold on. Let me get rid of this guy. What is this? Tired? No, I'm not. Every week with you guys on Kick. You know, we're streaming on Kick. We're on X and we're on YouTube. Everybody come over to YouTube. Everybody like the video. Subscribe. Share it to your grandma. You know, all that stuff. We got a lot to talk about today, Danny. But yeah, one more take on just how bad the world is artistically and everything else right now is this. I'm hearing news about the new Marvel movie, the Dune one, the Avengers that they're doing, and how they're the way they're shooting it and writing it, they're doing it ass backwards. So they're shooting all the action scenes and doing all that stuff, and then they're just gonna like write a story in between it. And I'm telling you, that's not how this is gonna work. It's not gonna work. That's not how you do things. You need a story, then you build the fights off the story. You don't do it the other way around. That's how they make movies now, Danny.
It's what I like to call the buffet table of creative impotence. It didn't first begin with the live-action Dragon Ball film, but it was one of the biggest offenders where they've looked at everything a franchise can offer and they've gone, oh, Dragon Ball. We like the visuals of the bright orange Dragon Balls. We like the visual of the guy with the big black hair. And then we like the visual of people like energy blasts out their hands. And then, oh, we don't like that bit, but we'll use those three and we'll just ram whatever the fuck we want to in it. And they were just like the most obvious because they picked very few things that we'd just enough for us to recognize it and be like, oh, that's the thing that I like. And then you go and watch it and it's like, actually, no, we've told you it's the Fantastic Four, but we just really want to get this pervy guy, the very handsy guy, over because we've just put him in everything, and he's one of our little pets, and he has to be in everything now. And we're going to piggyback your favourite things, just to ram him in everything, and then they just put over what else they want to put over. It's cheap.
They're making Highlander. I heard Paladin told me this week they're remaking that, even though the cast sounds pretty good. I think Batista's going to be in it too, but still, it's like, stop remaking stuff. None of these producers or anybody will do any new stuff. They won't take a risk at all. They think, like, there's a horror movie that just came out recently with that girl from the Ozarks. It was called, it had the kids running around all crazy in the trailer. Somebody might know out here, but that movie like hit, and now it's like a thing.
All right.
And it was based off of just something out of left field. It wasn't, like The Matrix. What they did to my Matrix, that is so wow. They made. I didn't. You know what? I didn't even watch it, and I will never watch that piece of shit. I can tell.
The fourth one.
The fourth one, yes.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. Some people don't like anything past the first one. I happen to really like the original trilogy, and I think the second and third ones are really great films. But a lot of people that I know are just like, oh no, the first one's fantastic, the rest shit.
Yeah, so the first one's a classic. Well, you know what? You can get very deep with this Matrix stuff because the second and the third one are actually way more important, just story-wise, occult-wise. These are stories that are like ancient stories that they're kind of retelling in different ways all the time, and that's what that was. In the beginning of it was the what is this, right? So, of course, everybody's very interested in the big reveal. And then after that, they kind of fall off. They don't really care about the who, what, when, where, and how, when they already they got the big picture of it. And now they're like, and I'm done. So I think that's how a lot of people took it.
Yeah. And he was underpowered sort of in the second and third one. Eventually he gets it back in the real world, but yeah, like you say, they see the first one and it's like, oh my god, just the idea of this is brilliant, and look at Neo, he can do everything now. And then in the second one, it's like, no man, he's just, in reality, he is some scrub in like a jumper that's been worn by like 43 other people, and he's living in like a mobile toilet, basically. It's just in sewage pipes, in a little robot ship thing. He's not this big god yet. But because they had to take steps back from where they walk towards in the first one. But yeah, you're right. It's important life stories that just repeat and are told in different ways, and I really liked it. I thought the whole sort of like thing with like, oh, maybe you can live with AI, and at first with the ending when he chose peace, I was a bit like, what's this? But then as it went on and I watched it again, I liked it, and yeah. But that fourth one, I just saw the trailer and I saw what they were trying to do, and I was just like, no, this is me washing my hands. I have the ultimate box set of the original trilogy with all the Animatrix extra bits and like the 10-disc set. That's fine with me. I don't need to watch the rest of this shit.
Oh yeah, I mean they had Doogie Howser in it, and they had who else? My buddy watched it and he's like texting me in the middle of it, and he goes, don't watch this, it will ruin everything. I'm like, I won't. Yep. And that movie Paladin was weapons. Yes. Recently. And that Dragon Ball movie was the shits.
It's the shits.
I wasn't a big Dragon Ball fan, so I never checked it out. So they did make a live action of that, huh? What year was that?
That was like mid-noughties. That was quite early on in all of this. Yeah. And the thing is, they cast James Masters as Piccolo, who was James Masters was Spike from Buffy. And that's like great casting. That is really good casting. And when I was like, it might not be too bad. And Chow Yun-fat was in it as well. But he was Master Roshi, and that wasn't good casting. But it was just, like I say, the way they'd got the Dragon Ball, they'd got so much, but they put Goku in high school, and it's like he wasn't in high school when he first did all of this and fought that villain. You've just, like I say, you've picked the visuals you like the idea of, and then you've gone high school setting, because that's popular and relatable, and we can sell it to other people.
Yeah.
And then the CGI and the flying and mid-air battles was just, it wasn't very good. Even the director said a few years afterwards that it was absolute dog shit, and he really got a load of shit online for it. And he apologized to the fan base. Was like, "Yeah, sorry, I messed up. I got it was a payday. I didn't realize I was going to upset so many people, but sorry that I got caught."
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. What are good movies I've seen? I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. God, I maybe watch like 2 movies a year now. Past like several years. The Batman's one of the last ones I remember seeing. I like the Batman. I skimmed through Deadpool, Wolverine, and I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I'm not excited about anything. I'm not excited about football starting. I didn't even watch last night's game. I could give a shit about that. I tuned in, right? The first thing I see is Mr. Beast. And they're doing this whole Mr. Beast doing games before the game starts, and I'm just like, I hate this future. What the fuck? It feels like we went into some other dimension in 24. I'm telling you, 2013, 2014, 2015, in that time period, something happened where like reality just turned into something else, like completely different, where stuff just wouldn't happen back before that time period. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like, it's a whole new world. My brother calls me up and he's like, "You watching the game or you got it on or whatever?" And I had the very beginning on. I wasn't even planning on watching all that much of it, but I see Mr. Beast and he's sending me a picture of I Show Speed on his screen because he's like, "How do I get this guy off my screen?" and he's older than me, right? So I'm like, okay, so I think you're on the wrong channel, because he doesn't use YouTube or any of that stuff. And they got everybody, all the old football guys, watching, going all over the internet, finding where Prime Video is and NFL Plus, and now they're on YouTube. And he went, I guess by accident, hit I Showed Speed's channel, and you can hear him talking in the background on his TV. And he's like, he won't shut up. I'm like, that's the. He's like, who is this guy? I'm like, you know who Logan Paul is? That's how I have to tell all the older folks. Like, he's a Logan Paul, basically. He's an influencer.
It's the shits.
Oh, they've invaded everything that I like. Then all this stuff is super corporate. They just want everybody's money. They'll go out there and tell you, they're like, "Yeah, everybody's paying a lot, aren't they? We're going to keep it up. Good job, everybody." Man.
Energy drinks. That's they keep a lot of the influencers afloat, especially in like the gaming sort of circles.
Yeah, energy drink. That's good for you. Have another one. Have some more energy. Here's some of my energy drinks. Right? Yeah,
this is decaf.
This is ridiculous. I can't stand life anymore, anybody. And I don't mean that in the way that YouTube TOS would think. I'm fine. I'm talking metaphorically speaking when it comes to like entertainment and stuff. The storylines aren't up to scratch. Creative, not being creative. Yeah. They don't need to be creative. Believe it or not, they think it's better. I'm talking WWE now, or really anything. They're going to dumb it down so much because it's not about that. It's about the industry pushing it and just having it in your face all the time. That's how they win. They don't win by being more talented. They don't win by having the better product. They win by owning the air. That's how they win. They own the airwaves.
You don't have to like what they're putting out. You just have to talk about it. My beef with the cinema, the theatre, as you guys say, is when you go and pay to go and watch a film, you come out of it and they take that as like, oh, they've paid the money, they've sat down, therefore they've liked it. Tick. And it's like, that's how many people have liked it. It's like, no, what I want to come out of the cinema, I want a button, a choice of buttons, like, was this good or was this bad? And then if you just go, bad, put my ticket back in, there you go. They could register it. But they've never done that. They've always just taken ticket sales as positive. And it's like, so your advertising's worked and you've got butts in seats, but that doesn't mean people enjoyed it and that it was any good. And now with the internet and social media, they've done the opposite of like what I recommended, where it's just boiled down to like, dislike, because they can just talk about it. And as long as they're talking about it, they're advertising it, because, I use hashtags for things, whether I'm saying good stuff or bad stuff. As Elon Musk says, you don't need to use hashtags, you just need to talk about the things, but he can fuck off. I'm going to use hashtags if I want, because it categorizes and organizes a lot of my stuff.
You boomer! No, I know.
And so, yeah, they found the way to sort of like still stay relevant and monetize disliking their product. Because if you hate watch it and talk shit about it, you're still talking about it, and it's still getting out there. So when was that Collider built? You know, where they were trying to figure out dark matter, or
you know what? It's so funny. I went
was
on
that the reality. Did that mess with reality somehow?
2000. It was right before the 2008 NFL season, because I remember going on a trip, and I was on an airplane reading a magazine. Believe it or not, an actual magazine that I bought in the airport and brought on. And I'm reading it, and it was a whole article about the particle accelerator. I read the whole thing because, where am I going? And that story was mid 2008. So think about they created it a little bit before that. Listen, shit's always been weird and crazy. It's just way more obvious now. But then on top of it, since it's more obvious now, right? And it has been for a while. Why are people still falling into all these pitfalls all the time? Like when it comes to, like when, just for example, I always say 2014, 2015, because it's like, that's like a prime example of what I'm saying. People forgot what bathrooms they need to use. We just forgot what bathrooms we need to use. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the Major League Baseball is having a problem and because of this issue, and the NBA All-Star game might have to be moved because of the, and it's like, what? How is this politics now? But ever since then, really, that's politics. So when people are out here and they're like, don't get all political, like everything's political now. You're falling on one side of the fence or the other. And I'm telling you, I've been talking about it for years. It's the Hegelian dialectic. That's exactly what it is. It's like a problem, reaction, solution. They give you two things to choose from, and you pick one or the other, and it doesn't really matter because it gets synthesized into whatever they want. You know what I mean? So it's a game. It's a psychological thing. That's why I need everybody separated. They need these people hating these people, and those people hating those people. And man, have they done a good job with that? I mean, you got ageism and sexism and racisms and all the isms, when everybody's just really just men and women, just people. Everybody's people. So at the end of the day, but they got everybody separated so much, and then over every issue on top of that. So in some cases, I'm not black enough to do things, or I'm too black to do things. You see what I'm saying? And that's just one thing. And then, oh, but you're a bro, you're a man, you're a cis, you're a that. And then religiously or philosophy wise, it's like, oh, well, no, you think like this. So no, you're wrong. We don't like you because of this. So there's a million reasons why they're not to like anybody these days, instead of just finding common ground with people. And you just can't do it anymore because it's like not allowed for some reason. It's not all the internet's fault, but everybody being on the internet as much as they are, just smartphones and just being able to just palm the absolute crap out of your phone and like food arrives. It's like, cool. I don't have like 3 brain cells, but I can just smash my bloody smartphone and food arrives. Awesome. So that's partly to do with it. And everyone's political now. Like I remember a time when if you used to talk politics to people, they'd be like, I don't have anything to say about it. And they'd only do stuff in private. Whereas people blame Trump because he's a non-politician getting into politics and celebrity. But Arnold Schwarzenegger was the first one that I remember that was like, oh, he's in politics now, is he? Oh, he's the governor. I know there are others, smaller people, but Arnie getting that position was sort of like a big thing, I think. And then Trump came in, and then once Trump came in, everyone had a fucking political opinion. Mainly because of the knee-jerk reaction that they instantly didn't like him. I wasn't keen on him at first. I'm not like a massive fan of him now, but early on I was just like, you're controlled opposition. Just look, why would you be on it? You're a TV star. You're a fucking reality star. And then I saw who he was against, and it's like, oh, yeah, fair enough. Maybe I would rather you win.
Sorry, but yeah, and so not even like liking him to start with, but seeing who was up against, and it's like, oh yeah, you might win actually if that's if that's the opposition.
Which also could be one big trap and one big long game where they're like, we're pushing this guy through. We already know he's going to win this or that. I mean, if you didn't think that he won in 2020, like, you need to look some more stuff up. I knew leading up to it what was happening. Like, you know what I mean? It's so crazy. Like I said, I feel like I'm in another dimension. I don't know anything else that anybody else can't find. I'm in your world, but how did I know? I just, if they're telling me people are dropping dead all over the place and they're like spraying the streets in China like it was a zombie apocalypse or something, I want to know what's going on. So I looked into it and I kept looking into it. And I'm like, but the thing is, you have to understand too that your TVs and most of your screens are all lying to you as well. So if you just take those two things in consideration, I'm gonna read things with what's the word? Discernment, right? Very a good Bible term for everybody. Have some discernment, but the only way you can have discernment, you need information. So you got to load up on information. You have to sift through it kind of and go, does this sound true? Is this right? Is this fitting in to the pattern that I'm seeing and is starting to build? Without it, you're not going to know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, I'm surrounded by people in this country, especially, that are like, oh no, we got it all figured out and we don't know anything. We're just going to go with whatever that guy says or that guy says, but we don't actually know anything. Okay.
They stopped teaching critical thinking in universities. They have over there and they have over here, and I'm sure plenty of other places in the world. They just teach you how to memorize they have so many books, so many pages in books, and they just want you to memorize that, which is like memorizing an argument. So then when somebody challenges that argument with something they've come up with themselves, they just go, and they just repeat the line that they've remembered because they don't understand the material. They just have memorized the particular books, and they used to teach how to think about stuff and, like, say, how to challenge a thought and see what the opposite idea of that is, and then see how it weighs out. But no, you just get told to just memorize this, and then when someone says this is a civil rights movement, you go out and protest and make a lot of noise and hit a lot of cutlery on your pots and pans and stuff. That's what we do over here now to make noise. If you've got no argument and someone's sort of like challenging your beliefs, you just get pots and pans and hit them.
We
like
go in
metallic
deep.
spoons. Yeah, it's just noise.
That's right. Reagan was an actor as well. Many actors.
Yeah.
All that stuff through politics. Did you know? I just found this out recently. One of the older Bushes, it might have been not W, his dad. Herbert Walker, right? He was a cheerleader, and so were a few other guys. Cheerleaders, bro. What? I guess it was different back then, though. So, and of course, we know you, John Cena. You follow me on Twitter, so that's cool.
Both of us.
Yeah, you follow
friend of the show.
Yep, friend of the show, John Cena from Newbury, Mass. Right? Is that what it's called? It's my state. I'm here, right down the street from you. That's some other news right now. John Cena, his last match isn't even going to be in Boston now. Yep. And I heard a rumor was because the way TKO maneuvers out here, they want the highest bidder. And I guess Washington, D.C. must have been the highest bidder because that's where he's going to be doing his last performance with Trump, possibly. Wow. Crazy. So I was planning to go to that show, but now it's not going to be his last show, so I'm not going to that. Yep. Philly Sports Pride. Why research when social media tells me what to think? Fuck that. No one is telling me shit exactly. Yep. You
end up staying in school in that way. When you see how people speak on social media, especially on, I know not everyone uses Facebook now, but when you could see how people talked on Facebook, they hadn't left the lunch table at school. They were still in the same circles as they were when they left school. They didn't go off and find different friends at college, and then same again for university. And it's just some people just don't mature, and I'm not trying to say I'm super mature because I'm fucking not. But I have different friends from when I left high school, or our equivalent of high school, and then college and then uni. Yeah, whereas some people just stay in that same dynamic for ages and don't leave it and don't grow.
Mm-hmm. And wear jorts forever, right? Just like John Cena.
If the weather calls for it, yeah.
West Newbury, that's right. Not Newbury, West Newbury. Where all the rich people live, I bet. Yep, me and him and Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump and I, John Cena. Come on. Step up your English game.
Donald Trump and Ice. Who is Cena against in his last match? Are they get upset so I just carry him off?
Could take on Donald Trump. Donald Trump he'll get over on him. Just like Putin years ago when he took on the Russian hockey team, scored 8 goals. Wow, 8 goals.
I forgot about that.
I heard the news of that. I'm just like, wow, man. But we kind of do the same type of bullshit over here, just in a, I guess, more realistic way. 8 goals a lot, bro. Of course they're letting you win. So. Yeah.
80 million votes? Is that what it? Oh, is that what you're referring to?
No.
That's similar. So just let the old man
yeah.
win. Let the old man win. We'll let him have more than Obama. We'll just say it was like 80 million or whatever.
Most votes ever. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite hashtags. I always did hashtag most votes ever with the clown face at the end. Because it's like, I did it from beginning to end. I did it through his whole presidency. I would always have like a hashtag for something that he was up to, because he wasn't the president. We know this. Listen, if this is what's freaking me out about YouTube, so they always have that little thing underneath that says, this is actually the truth down here, and come look at this. What they're saying up there isn't what's going on, and they put it on the election stuff. They put it on the COOF stuff. They're wrong about all of this, by the way. And I knew it at the time. Then they're like, yeah, you can't talk about that thing in September. You can't talk about the shape of the planet unless you got one of these. Oh, and we're going to put them under reptilian videos now, too. So it's like, wait a second. Are you telling me reptilians are real? Because if you actually have to go, whoa, but... look over here. It's not really that. It's not that. It's they're just crazy, right? That's weird to me, right? That's an alarm that's sounding off in my head anytime I see one of those. A fact-checking box, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what? This needs to be fact-checked? Why is that? I'm not talking about YouTube posts. I'm talking about big-ass shows, long documentaries and things. They're like, no. That whole thing, horse shit. This is the real stuff. So, okay. I don't know. There's a few of them I already debunked, so. The reptilians one threw me through a loop. I'm like, why do they need that fact check for reptilians? Okay. Anyway,
it's mole people, really, we need to worry about. Not the reptiles, it's the mole men.
Well, there are underground bases and things, Danny.
It's the Futurama rule of like New York, where it's just like they build New York on top of New York. And they just that's how we just keep going. We just bury the previous city.
Let's just go way off the rails. Like I said, I'm disillusioned with all this entertainment. It's not really that entertaining to me. I find this more entertaining. Let me bring up this video. I didn't even load it in, but there are. Remember the aliens that landed in those Spanish people's backyard in Las Vegas? It was a couple years ago now. It's like the 2-year anniversary.
I think that rings a bell.
It's one of these stories. It's so wild. And I remember at the time seeing the video and going, wait a second. This is, there's something to this. I'm like slowing the video down, looking at different spots. There are people like these Johnny Come Latelys like 4 months ago were having full-blown channels all based around this right now. And they're like, look at this. Look what I found. I found that like the week of. It was like big for a week and then it went away. And nobody ever like really talked about it and I found that super suspicious, which is why I came back to it. Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull this video up. Somebody's going to disappear, I'm sure. It'll be me. You can.
Well, what you've just said then is what you've just said then feeds into what you'd said before about why does everything feel so strange, and the news cycle's so quick. We're not having a chance to absorb many things. So a news story like that, where people would spend time talking to each other for a little while, like, oh, did you hear about the aliens? It's gone in a few days. And some people who don't have the internet or pay attention to particular sites or whatever won't have heard about it, and they'll just think you're being crazy.
Oh, yes. So here's a specific thing. I slowed this down. I wonder if is it still in slow-mo? Yes. So I'm going to just go through certain parts of this. All the obvious things I see, because even this guy I've watched a few of his videos now, scrubbed through them. He's talking about certain things that he should be talking, but he hasn't even brought this up. Do you see that fuzz? Can everybody see this fuzz? Can you see my cursor? No, let me put it on this TV. There we go. Oh, maybe you still can't see it over here. No, there I am. All right, damn it. I started it. It's so quick. Fuck. Hold on, everybody. Can I make this bigger for myself? Yes. Okay. So there's a little flash right here. So there's that big thing that's over the fence to the right. This is when they come in and turn around. They all have guns on them, by the way, which tells me they saw something, right? Unless this is really staged. See that flash right here? Yeah. Keep your eyes right there again. I think this is really important. Nobody ever points this out. It's like it went from over here and it was cloaked, and then they're fast as fuck, man. Like, it's crazy how fast this is, because I believe this is something. 100%. Look at that.
I see.
This is in the original footage and stuff too. I remember watching the original footage like for a couple hours one day when the first story first broke. That's something moving across, and that was the same kind of weird digital fuzz that was up top. So now I wanted to point that out, but even before that, the stuff over the tree is just so obvious, or the fence rather. Hold on, let me play it full speed. Yeah, talking Spanish. Anybody know Spanish in the chat? What are they saying? All right, let's start from... All right, so watch right here. About to go out. I think it's right after they start moving back in. It's going to be right here. See it? It's quick. I understand it's quick. A lot of people are like, I don't see anything. But I'm telling you, if you really look and you spend some time on this, people have made all different kinds of, Photoshops and layers and stuff like that. There is something here, and it's in between the fence. You can see even the cloaking in between the fences and stuff. It is crazy. Let me just slow it down one more time. See it? That's not a car pulling in. That's that same fuzz that was down here is right there. And look how big it is. And it's in the shape of an alien head. And if you look further, you see like the big eye here and there. It's almost like there's a lag. And then it kicks in. And then you can't see it anymore. But when it's like moving, it's lag. That's what I think it is. How wild is that? And then even this part.
The light does change, though.
I'm telling you, look into it further. There's no explanation for that. It moves in like it's something that's moving into frame. The flashlights and everything have nothing to do with it, because there's nothing else on this whole film that has anything like that. And they're saying that there were all kinds of aliens. There were some huge ones behind here, the main the tractor or whatever. Then there was like a little one in front of that. Then there was one over here by the car, and that's the one I see. These ones over here that everybody's focusing on, I didn't spend that much time on because it's really hard to see. You can't really say one way or another. There does look like there are things over there when they get some stills on certain, heat temperature or whatever they do thermally on their videos. But I tried to look for the widescreen of this all day, and I can't find anything but the phone. But right here, there's like a head that pops up. You can see it in the darkness, but you got to slow this down. You got to look real close. And as soon as the head pops up, that's when they turn around. It's too hard to see on this one. But I'm telling you, I've seen it from before. Shit's wild. And then, as I've heard a lot about this alien UFO type stuff, it's a lot of people think that it's mixed in with the spiritual realm.
That was about to be my question, is how do you know it's extraterrestrial rather than supernatural?
Well, did you see the I didn't show it, but on the cops the camera there that I can never remember, the chest cam that they wear, body cam, that they saw something falling out of the sky, and it was caught on the cam. The police department were getting all kinds of phone calls at the same time saying something just dropped out of the sky. People were seeing it even almost like a state away. And then what else? I'm trying to think of all the key things. There's like there was a weird ring in the backyard where it could have landed. Also, this kid says the Men in Black pretty much showed up and just all looked at the house at the same time. There was a good week or two where it looked like somebody installed something on the top of their house as like a monitoring thing. And then shortly after that, they ended up moving. And the monitor thing, whatever they put up on antenna looking type device, was gone as well. So if you kept up with it, you would know all this stuff, but like nobody kept it. It just went away so fast. It was crazy. But let's hear what this kid has to say, and then I'll move off this topic because he starts, I think, in this. I haven't heard this in years, but he's like saying that things were happening, like his crosses in his house were like going upside down and all kinds of weird demonic stuff. So here, let me put it on. Screen share. And he's got like one video on his YouTube channel. He's not like doing this for clout. I totally don't see that.
Channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. And I know some people are not gonna believe this, but each person is different. So this is what happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother and I hear something fall from the sky.
You gotta love the Simpsons shirt with the checkerboard on the back too, right? It makes me suspicious. Listen, I'm suspicious of everything, but okay, let's hear some of his story.
I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a
caught on
big
body
impact
cam.
fall. And me and my brother looked at each other, and we were scared, but when the impact happened, it was sort of like a shock wave, like an out-of-body experience. So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later, the blurriness was gone. And here's the footage of the body, the police officer's body cam, and here's the object I'm referring to, the light. Video.
Look at that. What are the odds,
Here's a
right?
ring camera video. You can hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video.
That sounds like an alien thing, doesn't it? Like a woo, like you heard the
So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw.
and everybody's packing heat. Don't forget. That makes it a way more real for me that it freaked you out enough you had to go grab the heat.
The same thing, the same creature I saw. He told me to go inside the house. At this point, we all freaking out, me and my family. And here's the video where we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's the video.
¡Ay! ¡Permisar! Carmen Garela, me canceles bar eso. Cáelo, chorro, que chica.
That's good
Cáelo,
acting.
chorro.
It
Moments
doesn't
after
have
the
to
video,
be
me and my
good
brother
acting.
went.
If your kids come running in at midnight and sort of like come in quite freaked out saying they'd seen something or heard something, and it's like, there's a creature outside, I can't make it out, it's strange, and everyone's packing heat, as you said, it's your heart rate's going to get going and your imagination's going to get going. If you came in and said there's a bear outside, they'd be like, right, cool, let's go fucking sort this bear out or whatever. But when it's like there's a creature, I can't tell. Again, I've said to you before, I don't disagree or like not believe in stuff like this, but just a lot of us really want it to be real, and we will accept quite a lot.
And that's the thing. Me too. I'm super skeptical of everything. This is the one thing I've ever found on the internet where I'm like, this doesn't add up at all. Just the lack of follow-up. You know how it seems like, the powers that be love to talk about alien stuff. They got the History Channel's like all about it. Ancient aliens, the whole deal, right? They love talking about alien shit, but they don't love talking about this. For whatever reason, they don't like talking about this incident. Like, you just don't hear about it. And this is, to me, that proves so much along with everything that I've seen, because I'm so skeptical. But I'm like, they're acting like they're seeing something. I see it too, even through the grainy film. And I see it. There's something, and why would they lie? Again, his YouTube isn't blowing up. He's got one video on there. He even said at the beginning, I'm not doing this for clout or whatever. They just they kind of wish it never happened. And I believe that too, and for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, now they're like freaked out for the rest of their life. And they probably have, black op teams following them around and stuff, and they're like, I don't even know what's going on. So, all right, let me finish his story here, because I think it gets into a weird territory at some point, but we'll see. Oh, did I mute him? Yeah, I did.
Shakingly. Look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift. And then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color. And when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again. And I start running towards the house. That's when I call 911, and here's the 911 call.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big.
This is kind of funny when you listen to it too. I think the woman eventually goes, are they on drugs? The aliens, are they on drugs? She's asking if they're like, no, nobody's on any drugs. Come on.
Eyes are looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
Why do an elaborate hoax and have it not pick up any steam with anything? With all that stuff that happened afterwards, people took pictures of it. There was some device on the top of their roof for like a week or two afterwards. Then people started asking questions and it disappeared.
So people would talk about it with, just give people just enough little scraps to start something.
But like I said, there's only been one channel I've seen recently talking about this, like within the past like 8 months, and this is like 2 years old now. Like they trust me, if they want something to stick around, they want a story to be a big deal, they generally give it a little bit of a push, a nudge. It's shown on local channels all over the country or something. This was like nothing.
People
or
two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes. Like I can't explain it. Big mouth. They're shiny eyes and they're not human. They're 100%. They're not human.
Hear footsteps in the backyard area, and a loud whispering. Like you could hear whisperings. We were in the living room area. And you could hear footsteps on the roof. So we waited a little bit for the police. When they arrived, they told me I told them what I saw, and they were kind of freaked out. Here's the body cam of the officer.
Now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or
they see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into...
Anyway, and then weeks after this, all this like demonic activity started happening in their house. And I don't know if people have seen that clip. They show it all the time online. Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan, where he's like, you talking about, how he thinks the aliens are actually, it's a spiritual thing, and they're probably more like demons, and all this stuff. And just like, then you got to add all these things together. Like, why can't we go to Antarctica? And they got the Antarctic Treaty, and we're supposed to believe that's the only treaty that nobody will ever break. And what if there is a huge hole over there? What if there is an ice wall? What if there are alien bases or whatever, in that area? We don't know because nobody can go over there, right? So it's very weird stuff, everybody. I know if you were looking for some AJ Lee talk, you're not going to get a lot of it today. You'll get a little bit coming up soon. What happened to my little background here? Oh, there we go.
The main thing I noticed with that video is obviously the guy was reading a pre-written bit, but considering it was a traumatic, emotional event, I know he was just reading what he'd written down. There was very little going on emotionally with his face. His face was very, it was just blank. But you'd still, if you were reliving it and it was that horrifying and scary, you'd still see something in his face, not the frozen, maybe drug-filled. Again, I'm not saying stuff like this doesn't exist. I'm just trying to say sometimes there are explanations for these, and we can't try and claim everything as proof. If he was on something, maybe not intentionally, and he started to see things that weren't there, he could hit just a suggestion to his family members that there's something there could cause them to see that thing and to behave in the same way. Folie à deux, a madness shared by two. It happens a lot. Schizophrenics see things. They tell the family members things are happening. They eventually believe it once they've heard it for so many times. And then a grainy video. You see a little blur in a grainy video, and these family members are all getting emotional and speaking very
blurs. A lot of blurs.
Well, it's nighttime. It's a smartphone camera. You only need to stand in front of the light from a distance, and shadows will appear. So add these all together, and it it might seem like, oh, that's a bit too many coincidences.
Shadows are fully dark. Shadows aren't like a distortion of what the light in front of it. You know what I mean? It's a shadow is dark, like it casts a dark, and then maybe the crest of it, is maybe fuzzy like that was. That was straight fuzz. That's something cloaked. That's what I believe. And you know me, I don't even necessarily believe in this stuff. I'm just saying, based on this one video, the way it was handled, the crash falling from the something coming out of the sky and hitting the ground before and after, what the hell's going on? It's being caught on Ring doorbells all over the neighborhood. It wasn't just like there were neighbors that were like, what the hell is that? And then they're working on a car back there. I doubt they're doing hard drugs. They're probably on the ganja or something, but that doesn't make you hallucinate and think you're seeing space aliens.
No, but it can cause anxiety and a panic attack in some people. You're outside at midnight and you hear a rustle in the hedge in the bush, and it's just a rat or a possum or a dog or a cat or something, and you've just watched a film or heard something, read something, and your mind starts to wander, and then you're out there on your own at midnight and it's pitch black, and you come in huffing and puffing and telling your family, I've just seen this thing. And yeah, imaginations can run wild. Again, I'm not saying it's not, but the Ring cameras are normally quite high quality. That one was not a very high quality one. Why didn't they find one that was higher quality or some decent quality? Because that could have been anything as well. And you just piece together things like this, and it's very easy to sort of like get a conspiracy started.
I would say out of anything I've seen UFO alien related, that's the only one that I'm like, there's something 100% there for me. That's why when I first saw it, I just kept going over it and over it, because I'm like, there's something here. I don't necessarily want to believe this. I'll brush things off like this all the time. But this one was just like it feels so over the top, where everything just seemed real. The main thing for me, the blur right over the fence that moves. There are other people who have done a better job than me going through it, like on YouTube slow mode or whatever, where it moves into place and it looks like an alien head with the darker eyes and everything. And I think it's like on a lag of a cloaking thing. So it moved in so quick into that frame, and maybe our eyes can't even pick it up. And I've heard in other UFO stories or alien stories where they kind of blink in and out of existence, like the whole Miami Mall thing, which I'm going to look further into. They brushed that shit off too. It seemed like every police department in all of Florida was in Miami that day, because people were saying that beings just popped up and were blinking in and out of reality, and they were fucking huge, and they were walking around the streets in the middle of a mall, and they blamed it on teenagers, right? Or something. And it was talked about in hearings over here, and it said it's all classified. Why would you classify teenagers getting together and causing a ruckus at a mall and then try to wipe the story under the rug? That's the key thing, If they released a hallucinogen into the population and everybody collectively had the same sort of trip or same sort of mass psychosis, they'd try and declassify it then, because they know they fucked up and they don't want to get told off for causing the public to go mad for 10 minutes or whatever. But if everything's a vibration and our eyes are only going to be able to keep up with so much speed and light, if there is something there that's vibrating too fast for us to keep up with, then it would appear in and out like that. But just going back to the video you showed, I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm just trying to put up a strong argument with it to make sure I'm not just jumping into believing anything. If what the blurs look like are what they actually are, it sounds something maybe like what Mothmen have been described as before. So I would probably say more supernatural than alien. But another weird little factoid, I think, about the Miami Mall thing is the coordinates of that place are like 1 digit off or something from Antarctica. Like a certain base in Antarctica too. Like if you drew a straight line, it would like hit that base. And what if they were trying to tap in and go there, right? And they're like, "Whoops, we're off 0.1, you know, out of a million on the coordinate scheme." And they pop in another dimension. They're like, "Ah, shit, we're at the mall in Miami." Whoops. Guess they're not that bright, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, governments test technology all the time. And if, just look at something like advertising, they like to try subliminal messaging to sell you stuff. And if they put something in the radio wave or something like that, and then accidentally told everyone to think of big giant monsters like Godzilla or something, and everyone freaks out and hears this subliminal radio wave at the same time, then that's something else. They'd be like, "Oh no, nothing dodgy was happening. Let's just sign this away and nobody can talk about it anymore." Governments and people just say weird stuff when they're testing technology. Look at us, the Brits, when we came up with radar. Do you know about this? When people were saying about, so you know the whole thing with carrots make you see in the dark.
Carrots can make you see I know they're good for your eyes.
Well, the propaganda that we were spreading when we first figured out radar during one of the wars, instead of saying, "Hey everyone, we've just invented this thing where you can like see where things are in the night and you don't actually have to be able to look at them," instead of being honest about that, when people were asking, "How come your pilots are so good at night?" they go, "They eat loads of carrots." And we had started this big thing over here of like, eat carrots, see in the dark, just like rabbits do. And it's like loads of creatures have like night vision. It's not because they eat carrots. But carrot sales went up and we kept radar under our hats for a little bit longer without telling our enemies. So we say some messed up things when we're coming up with technology and things like that.
Yeah, it's a fact. The U.S. has dosed its citizens before. They gave, I think, somewhere in St. Louis or something. They've made people sick. Not even just, I mean, the acid stuff ain't the half of it, but yeah, they'll do things to the population. So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility that everybody was just high for who even knows. Maybe they got some weird stuff that gets you like crazy high for like 30 seconds. Who knows? And then again, they could feed in microwaves and all kinds of different frequencies and waves and make you, they can put sounds in people's heads. Like this was proven like 15 years ago on TV. And yet people are like, "Yeah, that's conspiracies. That doesn't exist." It's like, okay. No. Anyway, they're from another dimension.
Maybe.
Another timeline, another dimension.
And now I've got the Beastie Boys stuck in my head. Thank you.
Yeah. Beastie Boys probably from another dimension.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Let's talk about something a little more grounded for the people out here. A little
wrestling. What, I forgot what that stuff is.
I know, but this one's entertaining. This is exciting. This is
you've got the fatigue as well, though, haven't you? You've got the wrestling fatigue. It's started to eventually. It's worn down. Worn you down.
You wore me out. There's too much of it. I don't really care about it. I'm gonna again. Every week that passes is probably it could be less and less, depending on what they give me to talk about. But if they're not going to give me anything, what is there to talk about? It's just a whole lot of the same stuff that we've already seen. Brock Lesnar. Oh, I'm supposed to get excited about Brock Lesnar and what? Another Io Sky match. I've seen Io Sky matches. I've seen it all. And they want me to pay more for it. It's not happening. But I don't have to pay nothing for this, for all this sweet Matt Rydell stuff. Boy, he's had a great week, this Matt Rydell.
He's been busy.
Yep, let me, there we go. Bring up that screen, and we can all enjoy some Matt Rydell in a moment. Bring me back, and we're over here now. Look at this. So Cultaholic very reputable source, right? Y2 Just Incredible without the E. Oh, he was like, oh, I was cultaholic this, cultaholic that. And I'd be like, shut up. You're on the Dr. Hughes show. Screw these guys. But anyway, they got things to say. So there was an exclusive this week. Says Matt Riddle no-showed and ripped off a charity pro wrestling show on Sunday, August 31st. Riddle was booked to face Simon Miller at Global Wrestling Kingdom's A New Kingdom Rises event in Barnsley, England. Riddle, however, never traveled to the UK for the show and has yet to return the deposit paid to him by the promotion. The show was raising money for charities in support of survivors of domestic abuse and homeless veterans. So everybody right off the bat, just what a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. You know, he hasn't been winning a lot of people over lately because, you know, he's been really shitting on CM Punk, and even his wife there, AJ Lee. Did you hear the news about that?
No.
He said this past week that he's like, yeah, she got around in the locker room and all this stuff. Like, he really doesn't like CM Punk because he's, you know, dragging her through the mud, you know, saying how she's basically easy. So, you know. And also he said that it's kind of creepy, the CM Punk, you know, kind of what I've been saying for the past couple of months because I have, you know, eyes and ears and senses. But he's like, what is he? He acting like Cora Jade's father, and you know, he's hanging out at NXT way too much, which I would do. I'm just being honest too. If I worked with WWE, send me to Orlando, please. The land of the hot chicks, and they always stay hot, you know. The other ones can move up, and they just give you more hot chicks to hang out with. And remember, I was from the beginning. As soon as he went to NXT that first night, I'm like, he's a man. I know what that's going to be like for him. He's super over. Everybody knows him in the business. All these hot fitness models are going to be like, oh my God, CM Punk's here. Did you see CM Punk? Just based off of status with his big puffy eyes. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. We saw the pictures he's taken with everybody, but yep, Riddle brought that up too. And yeah, he still believes he's in the right. So,
but it's good heel, it's perfect heel stuff from Riddle because he's taken a nugget of truth. Well, it's not even a nugget, it's like a fist of truth. And then he's stirred the pot around it, and he doesn't necessarily know if AJ Lee's easy or not, but he knows that it'll wind him up, and if you've got if you've built it on that little bit of truth of like, well, look at CM Punk sniffing around the development spot, doing that whole, the more I get older, you know, they just stay the same age. That old badger, he knows how to fucking wind him up. So, you know, from a trolling sort of perspective, you know, kudos, but no showing. Yeah, that's proper shitty attitude.
So this is the official story after a few days went by, and then we'll check out what Riddle has to say about the situation, but here's the Cultaholic guys.
Sources close to the situation, I'll read this so I get this 100% correct, revealed to Cultaholic, yes, we've got the scope this time, that Riddle was booked for the GWK event through his manager several months ago, but Riddle recently expressed concerns about his flight, claiming it was cheap, and his unhappiness about being in a hotel room in Barnsley for 2 days. Barnsley's not that bad.
It's not that bad in Barnsley. Now, after Riddle revealed his concerns, GWK tried to organise some pro wrestling seminars so he could make some extra money whilst in the United Kingdom, but they were unable to finalise any events on such short notice. Now, Matt Riddle didn't cancel his booking, but he never travelled to the United Kingdom, and a driver was left waiting several hours for Matt Riddle to arrive, according to our sources there. So he hadn't made it clear that he was not going to arrive at the time that he said. GWK then received a reply from Riddle, noted that he had accepted another booking, but would still potentially make the show. Riddle did not open any of GWK's future messages about his status for the event. And then you may have seen online a couple of things. You would have seen Matt Riddle hanging around at the Real American Freestyle event, which was on the day before his booking in Barnsley. And you would have seen him pop up potentially at a wrestling promotion in Boca Raton, which he wasn't planned for. But suddenly was available to do.
Yeah. Riddle's got previous form in this area, of course, because he no-showed a Championship Wrestling from Memphis event in January of this year, and only told the promotion the day of the show that he wouldn't be making his planned booking, and Riddle instead attended Nick Hogan's wedding. Oh, that one.
Yeah,
that old one.
That's happened again. Now, when it comes to this particular show as well, as you say, Riddle has had previous for this. The concern from this means that GWK had to give out a lot of refunds for meet and greets and such that they had sold for the event, and also sources noted that Matt Riddle has yet to return the deposit that was paid for him to be part of that event. Well, this was an event that was raising charity money for the Mayor of Barnsley's chosen charities, which were supporting survivors of domestic violence and supporting homeless veterans.
Wasn't he caught up for domestic violence stuff or something? I don't keep up with a lot of that type of stuff, but I think there was something about it, right?
There was something, but I think they just... I might be wrong with this, if anyone in the chat remembers this news, but I think it just turned out they were just one of those couples that just used to push each other around, and sort of... I'm not saying it's good, like even if your missus sort of like tells you to do it, or that's just how you are. I just think that if you're behaving like that, what's the point of being together? But I think they would just turn out to be one of those couples that just scrap all the time, like Matt Hardy and his missus. They always fight, like, physically wherever they go, and then they just kiss and make up and have a mad half-hour shag, and then just like, oh yeah, we're best friends again, now it's all good. And it's like, no, it's not. Why do you keep doing this?
Yep. Nice cycle they got going on here. But here's what Riddle's got to say. Get liking and subscribing, everybody. Let's go. Share this out to everybody. Get on YouTube. Follow the show. Do things. Go to the links. Yeah, all that. Here's Riddle.
You know, I could explain everything in great detail. I'm not lying. But I really don't give a fuck anymore. Most of you motherfuckers are dumb.
Oh, wait. Let's watch the other one before this one. Where is it? Oh, no. I think I lost. It's in my likes somewhere. Let's go to my likes. Let's go. It was this one. Yes, this is the first one.
GWK. The reason I didn't go is because you booked me a flight for Thursday for a show that was happening Sunday, and you said you were booking me meet and greets, other matches, and appearances. You did none of that. I had nothing scheduled, and I was going to sit in a hotel room for 2 days in London. I told you multiple times I can't do that or wouldn't do that, and I got work for Friday and Saturday and Thursday. I work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I told you.
Do you just believe you think he's lying? Do you know what I mean? Like, those are a lot of allegations. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He didn't do this. They said they had receipts. I don't know if I've seen them yet. You know, people put out DMs and texts as if that's proof. That's not even necessarily proof to anything either. But it almost seems like crazy to me. Like, you're on something, bro. If you're gonna fight back against this, always the best policy to have is if you fuck up, if you do something, show, and you really don't mean it, and you just go, hey, I got a lot of things going on right now. You don't want to do that after the fact. You don't want to go, no, it's not that, and then go, oh, well, I got problems going on over here and stuff like that. Which I'm not saying he even did that. We'll get into it further. He'll say that a little bit, but all right. I don't know if I believe this shit. And UK promotions are notorious carnies. Yeah, fire bars. I don't know if that's true. Danny could probably speak on that more. I've never been over there, so have you been to wrestling promotions?
Yeah. Some of them are all right. Some of them are just nice, friendly seaside sort of events where it's just, he's behind you, oh no he isn't, and all that, and it's normally all above board, but yeah, there's some,
because
people with lesser reputations.
Yeah, it's hard for me to just go, oh, Matt Riddle's a horrible guy, because there are a lot of the promotions and the promoters generally are very weird. I understand that this was a charity show, but again, people aren't doing things for charity these days all the way. There is ulterior motives. They want guys like this around to maybe make a connection with, grow their promotion based off of who they can get, whatever. They say, I'll just let him speak. Let him plead his case, and the people can can figure this out for themselves. They don't need to hear from me. I'm very confused. I'm not a big pile-on guy. That's all.
Fly to London Saturday evening. You said you paid for it. I go, no, you paid for it. Take it out of my pay. Whatever. You guys refused. So I flew to Miami and wrestled there. All right? I never said I wouldn't pay you guys back. That's a lie. Also, this show wasn't a charity event. That's a lie. That was a last second change. You also booked me the worst flight in history, bro. Middle seat, no meal, no check bag. GWK, this is probably your last.
I mean, what if that's true? What if it just became a charity event, like at the last minute or whatever? They did book him a middle seat. What if both things are true? And he's like standing them up because he's like, this is all bullshit and I don't want to deal with these guys. Look at how they're kind of treating me. Not like he's this mega superstar, but you definitely don't want to sit in the middle seat going overseas. And, it was a charity last minute. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, he could be lying.
The seat thing felt like a bit of just a cheap sort of like shot, like, oh, I'm better than that. But the initial grievance he has, where it's like, right, you booked me to wrestle on Saturday, but then you wanted me to go over on Thursday, so stay there on Thursday and Friday. That now stops me from being able to make my own money on Thursday and Friday to then make it to you. Mm-hmm. So I completely agree with, that's a bit shitty that they're expecting him to sort of like just wait around with his thumb up his ass for 2 days. If there's nothing else going on, like photo opportunities, something where he can make money. But then he's obviously, I think, just got a better offer at home and not needed to travel. But then maybe thought he'd got in touch with him, or he just thought he'd be able to.
He blew him off. That's what I'm saying. I think both things can be true. I think that they weren't necessarily treating him properly. They were treating him like another fucking Jabron Malone. But again, to me, it's like, if I'm flying to another country, like, you don't have to put me at the Ritz-Carlton or anything, but, treat me decently. Bring me in like in the morning, get me a decent seat, a middle seat, bro. And, after I'm going to go throw myself around, physically. And just, I just can see his point. But then also, I wouldn't be the type of guy that would just blow them off. I would say, you got to make this right. But it tells me he's not involved in his business enough. Like to rather just go, I'll just do this and that. I'll go to freestyle wrestling. I've been invited over here into this promotion. I'll just do this over in the States instead. You should keep your business, professional, and tell them and go, hey, I'm not coming. I don't like this. That's all you got to do.
It would be easier if they were just straight up. Now, I don't know this particular charity. I don't know the mayor that they've spoken to or anything, but we do have a tendency over here to try and get people to do stuff and go on, it's for charity. So I don't know if he's been guilted into like taking less, or if they did move the goalposts, like after initially sort of like saying, here's what we want from you, and here's what we'll give you. They might have moved afterwards, and every time he's gone, hang on, how come you've put my bill down or whatever? And then they've gone, come on, it's for charity. Because that bugs me, because not to be Mr. Miserable Sod, but if you want to give money for stuff, that's cool. But if you have to pester people for it, then just bugger off with that. And he might have been pestered, he might not. He seems convinced that he's correct. He doesn't seem to be lying, I don't think.
Right, he at least believes it himself, yeah.
Yeah, but if he's worked himself into a shoot and there's drugs involved and he doesn't know what day of the week it is, he might think that he's actually right, and therefore he wouldn't be acting like he's lying if he's that convinced of himself.
Yeah. I'm not your typical IWC guy out here. I wait for, the facts to come in before I just jump on somebody and go, he's the worst, right? Can he come off like a dick? Sure, but that doesn't mean, he's as bad as everybody claims he is. People have tried this with me, not at this level, but, they've tried to pile on me too, and it just doesn't work because, I don't give a fuck, first of all. And also, I've done nothing wrong. So when it comes to this guy, I don't know, man. It's like He's like, they're calling me a wife beater, and they're calling me like, and it can just all be based off of allegations, right? I don't know, but let's hear more from him.
I was going to say, everyone's got a rub so far. The promotion he keeps mentioning, Simon Miller, who he was going to wrestle, the promotion that was going to happen in. Everyone's had the name mentioned quite a few times now, more so than it would have done. So they've got something out of it anyway, even if this has all gone tits up.
And you know who you can talk shit about in the pro wrestling world. Pro wrestling people know who's, off limits and who you can talk. Like right now, you can't talk shit about AJ Lee. You're going to go out there and talk shit about AJ Lee right now? And it doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying. So he could even be telling the truth about all that. It doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter when everybody's got their own beliefs. So, all right. Oh, he was almost done here anyway. So let's bring up the next video here. When he really gets mad. This is like the second video from the top. We don't want to miss a second from Mickey Rourke here.
I could explain everything in great detail. I'm not lying. But I really don't give a fuck anymore. Most of you...
Right off the bat, he's saying he's not lying. I'm pointing these things out because he believes, and it makes me believe, just like with the alien videos and all this stuff, they believe it. It looks like their body, everything, their language, the way that they're carrying guns out to shoot some grays. That makes sense to me. I would be acting the same way. I'd be acting the same way with this too. Everybody's like, wow, he's a real piece of shit and all this, how he's like swearing and things. If I was mad, I'd be swearing my head off. I'd be calling him every name in the book because I would believe I'm right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just my angle on this.
Motherfuckers are dumb fucking cunt. Just like when you believe that Me Too bullshit and all the other fucking garbage. You guys are all fucking dumb. And it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Fucking believe these fucking creeps? Whatever, dog. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep getting booked. I'm probably going to start fighting again. I'm probably going to do a lot of other shit. Fucking crushing on OnlyFans because I've got a big fucking you-know-what. And I'm nice as fuck, dude.
He's nice as fuck, dude. And he's got a big hog. And he's on OnlyFans, just like Paladin.
I was not aware of that. What?
You didn't know he was on OnlyFans?
No.
Yep, he's taking money out of Paladin.
I've repressed it, and just pushed it out of my mind because it's like I don't need to. Yeah.
I saw a picture. I was just scrolling on my feed one day, and I see a picture of him naked with a smiley face emoji in front of his crotch, and that was his debut of hey, get ready for this, wrestling fans. I got an OnlyFans going, and I made a whole post about it on TikTok. Played the song "Dirty White Boy" over it for all the old timers that love that classic rock. That's what he is. That's his theme song. You should come out to that. Yep. Mickey Rourke looking motherfucker. Wow. Every time I look at him, I see the wrestler. Yep. I would have left that off the list. Yeah, you would think, right? But nope. He's trying to promote right now. Again, like you said, Danny, definitely the UK bros are getting a major bump off this. Nice little rub off this. He's looking like a piece of shit, but also this is pro wrestling. People are like, oh, he's going to be out of pro wrestling in a couple months. You think people are just not going to want to deal with him because of this situation? I'm not so sure about that. And they said he no-showed an event earlier in the year to go to Nick Hogan's wedding. It's just not a good idea to be blowing people off, even if they're small, right? Just like, for example, before I let him finish, I just want to do this a little bit where, what the fuck, everybody? I've been going out of my way to send out DMs to people to get them on the show to promote whatever they're doing. talk with me about things, whatever. Get different perspectives from all different kinds of people. 4 pro wrestlers. I'm not going to name them. 4 regular people. Regular people into random shit, right? You know, I haven't heard from one person. Not one person sent me a DM back of even just like, no thanks, nothing. These are nobodies. Nobody. They are nobodies. And they won't even message me back? What the fuck? You're not even going to look to see what I'm into and how this thing operates? You don't have 15 minutes? I'm not asking for people to be on the Joe Rogan show for 3 hours and talk about fucking Sasquatches or whatever. Maybe just Danny sometimes. But, you know, these other people, this is an opportunity for you to connect with other people. What has gone on ever since the coof? Everybody sucks now. Nobody wants to do shit. Before, I had wrestlers, I had all kinds of people that are known in the business that are like reaching out to me to do some stuff. But now, there are fucking nobodies that won't return my DMs. Go fuck yourself, everybody. I'm with Matt Riddle. How about that? I'm with Roger Jackson. How about we beat up everybody? I don't know. I just had to vent that. Anyway, let's let Riddle do his venting.
Everybody, if you don't like me, unfollow. Go fuck yourselves, all right? I don't give a fuck because at the end of the day, the cream fucking rises to the top. And I'm really, really tired of trying to be nice.
I got a lot of cream.
Because I hate to break it to you, most of you guys are fucking morons. Peace!
I mean, can we really disagree with that? We're going to disagree that a lot of the people in the IWCs and everybody calling everybody out for every little thing they say and do out here, they're, you know, we want to all deport them and ship them off and whatever. Not even being ironic about it. I don't know. I'm just tired, Danny. I'm tired of the world again. This world, man, is really stupid lately. Have you seen Vince McMahon lately? Check this out.
Oh no, what's going to happen? No,
I'm going to show you Vince. Where's Vince? Bring me to my posts. There it is. First time on Twitter, guys. There's Vince McMahon, everybody. Look at that. I think he calls himself Marina Abramovich, right? The head witch of the Illuminati. Yep. Nope. A lot of people probably don't even know who she is. You know who she is, Danny, right?
Nope.
Don't even know. I'm telling you guys, these are people pulling the strings in the world. So me goofing on him is probably not a great idea, but I'm going to do it anyway because she looks like Vinnie Mac. What up, Vinnie Mac? Dap me up. Yeah, thanks, bro.
Well, I mean, Vince has got a chicken beak there. He didn't have that before, but...
So if you didn't know who she was, Danny, she's like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Lady Gaga and like those types of people. Like she's like their mentor witch. And she also, I remember hearing a story right at the beginning of the coup. Remember all the CEOs were stepping down before they made it official and everything. Well, Microsoft, I gave her like Bill Gates' role or some shit. Because it's all a goof. Do you know what I mean? She's at the parties eating fake bodies. You know, they lay a body out. It looks fake or whatever. I'm sure there's real ones at the real parties, but the ones where they actually show the photos or have people take pictures at, it's supposedly a fake body, and then, you know, they're picking off of it like it's a buffet because that's art. You know, she paints with crumb and blood and body parts, and I made a music video out of it. Go check it out. It's on the Dr. Hugenstein page. Yep.
It's also rubbing our noses in it and lying right in our faces. And there's a certain delight that people like Vince and, by the sounds of it, her get with like just doing stuff in front of people, knowing full well they're getting away with it.
Like this guy too.
Oh yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Dr. Gates. You mean?
Some great people around here. Oh, I should probably go back to my likes. I think that's where it is. Oh no, people will see what I like. Oh no. There it is. So I didn't even see this post. I didn't read it anyway. I just liked it so it would be here so we can look at it later. So here's the thing. Who wrote this? I don't know. Misha, Montana. So here's the thing. I've been in Reno, Nevada, dealing with both of my parents that are severely ill for the last week. And I'll tell you the last thing that I wanted to deal with today was a bunch of fucking idiots. Well, wait, I thought this was a Matt Riddle thing. Why was she in this? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so let's click on the picture. Now I really can't see it. Let's go back. The fuck? So it says, hi, Liam. Question: a promotion from France reached out to have Matt wrestle the night of the 30th. Do you want to talk to them and to see if it's feasible? You have priority. And I told them that, but I said I would ask and I can forward contract. Hey, Misha, I'm going to have Matt booked on seminars and stuff on the 29th and the 30th. Plus, we want to do that audience with Matt Riddle with question and answer stuff too. That way, us and Matt can split the revenue from that. Plus, all the meet and greets. I will be able to share our event poster on his social media page, blah, 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 blah. So basically, she's pointing out, I don't know if this is his girlfriend or whatever, that there were plans for all this stuff and they had to be canceled because he didn't show up. But also, I don't know. It's like, again, what else am I going to say? The truth generally falls in the middle somewhere. So that's where what I see with that. So get well, Matt. Yeah. But the AJ Lee stuff was crazy with him. So let's talk about AJ Lee for a minute. So AJ Lee came back last night. Supposedly that was going to make me watch SmackDown. It didn't. I watched the very beginning, saw Cena. Sami Zayn came out, ruined it for me. They got into a U.S. title match. Didn't matter. I knew Sami wasn't losing the title this early. And then Brock Lesnar came out. You know, did his thing, beat up everybody. And that was it. So. And the rest of the show was the rest of the show. You know, Becky Lynch comes out again, screaming at CM Punk. AJ Lee comes out. I have nothing to say about AJ Lee except I don't give a fuck. I don't care at all about AJ Lee. I don't care at all about this angle, what they got going on with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I don't care about wrestling really anymore. There's nothing to watch. There's a lot of it, and none of it's exciting because there's too much. Go fuck yourselves. Have a nice day, TKO. You can't have my $50 a month. You can have all the other Marks' money. You ain't getting mine anymore. Mm-hmm.
No, it's a bit much. I don't obviously wish ill will on anybody, but she's 38 or something now. She's been out for 10 years. I don't know how much she's been doing, like physically, how many bumps she's been taking, but it's gonna fucking hurt. So I hope you're gonna take it steady, or I hope you've been working hard to get back into this, because it's gonna, yeah, you're gonna feel it a lot more than you felt when you were 28.
She was with the company from 2009 to 2015, 6 years. And we're at the point now in wrestling where the fan base, again, I told you it's morphed over this time. And there are a lot of like, so if you're 5 years old, say around this time, you're 20 now. 25. Between, say, 17 and 27, right? Those are the AJ Lee fans. And boy, they're going to take your money with ladies. They got the shirts and the merch already out. They got everything cooking for you. So get those purses out. Yep. It just sucks. And then it's like all this for AJ Lee, all this hype. Ooh, WrestlePalooza, I gotta watch now. Brock Lesnar and AJ Lee. No, I don't. I'm not paying for AEW, and I'm not paying for you either. I'm not watching NFL. I'm not going to watch the NBA. You all fucking suck now. None of you don't have any good products anymore, and you're overcharging everybody. Good for you. You're doing good business. You got the idiots under control. Good for you. I'm not one of them. So,
to be fair to Brock, he is a draw. He is an absolute freak, and he does pique people's interests. He really does. Even just his look, just seeing him, he used to look like a Lego man, and then he's just transformed into some sort of like Viking warrior. But yeah, everything else you said there about just milking the fans and fleecing them, it's absolutely true. And yeah, Brock is an attraction, but they have leaned on him quite a few times now.
In this cowboy, Brock Lesnar does not hit the same as the old Brock, the Beast. This one ain't really the Beast. He just looks like he's coming off a farm for years.
But that's what he is pretty much doing. It's just like he's just on a farm minding his own business because he hates people and human interaction, allegedly. And it's like, oh, fine, I'll just stop doing all this stuff and stop building fences and just go and beat people up again. Mm-hmm. But like, each time he comes back, yeah, just fewer and fewer people get super excited over him because it's been done to death now. But he is an interesting fella, and he's just a freak in the ring.
I've blocked so many people from Kick already. Man, we had one person from Kick this whole time. That was a real person. What was his name? Jorge or something. He was some Spanish dude. But yeah, the rest of them, all bots. Even the real ones. They act like bots. I'm like, get out of here. Yep. So, man, just how about this? Like the NFL, like on all levels. So let's talk about another level of this. The NFL game with the Cowboys and the championship Eagles happened Thursday night. The first game, before anything even happens, right? They kick the ball off. One play happens. A guy's laying there, broken leg. First game of the season already. All right. And I'm thinking to myself, why isn't he off the field? They're not picking him. They had to cart him off. But again, generally, they usually get a guy up and off the field. So you're waiting and you're waiting. The start time of this game was 8:20 my time. It turned into the real kickoff time was more like 8:24. Then you're waiting around for this. And then in the middle of waiting around for this, Dak Prescott said something to one of the defensive linemen on the Eagles, spit on the ground. That guy comes walking over, spits on him right in front of the referee, one of the best players on the Eagles championship defense, gets kicked out of the game immediately. And I'm just like, these fucking people are knuckleheads. And they're all rich as hell. And I'm just like, again, why am I watching this? You know, this is sports. Have you ever, like, the whole point of sports is to have respect. Is being a sportsmanship. Ever hear of it? They're all spitting on each other and calling each other names before the game even started. Well, the guy's laying there with a broken leg. And I'm just like, everything stinks now. The athletes are, what a bunch of fucking knuckleheads. And, you know, these people are making too much money.
Too much money, yep.
So everything's going to fail.
Yeah, I'm sure it works similar, like way over here with our soccer players. They all get paid way too much now. They get the bottoms powdered all the time. They get driven everywhere. They just get everything they need. But like, here we go. When I was a lad, the footballers, like, footballing wasn't their only like occupation. They had like proper jobs during the week, the rest of the time. And not always glamorous things either, but that's what sort of like made it a working class, working man sort of like sport, and what people sort of like came together for. I'm sure American football has quite a lot of like a similar sort of like story to it too. But now they're all paid in advance, and they all know that even they could go stand in the middle of the pitch or the field or whatever. They could do a Hitler salute and just get the cock out, and it's like, that's fine. I'm not going to play this sport anymore, but I'm going to get a sneaker deal or a t-shirt deal or a energy drink deal, or they know they've made. They know they can just do something else anyway.
Yeah, in the NBA, there are people that have gone to games lately that I know, and they're like, it doesn't even feel like you're going to games anymore. It feels like you're going to like a branding seminar. It's just, everything's branding. The players all have their own brands. Nothing seems real or organic. They're all playing patty cake out here with these, it's like, how about you work on your dribble? How about you work on your shot? In the meantime, we know you spend hours doing this shit for the cameras and taking pictures and all this shit that has nothing to do with the game. So it's just everything's really weird. And John says football is crap in the UK now. Completely entertainment, as oldies know. And the same thing over here in America. All the stuff that I like, all the stuff that I grew up with, it's all just not entertaining anymore. They strip the soul out of it, and they're just hawking you goods and giving you Mr. Beast and I Show Speed and Logan Paul and fuck all this. So
it's the intro to basketball. You've seen basketball? It's the intro to that, where it's talking about all the different football teams moving to different cities, and it's like the Lakers moved to so-and-so where they have no lakes, and the Oilers moved to over there where they have no oil, and someone moved to Utah. The Jazz moved to Utah where they don't allow music, and it's like everyone just becomes
Jazz in Utah.
Yeah, everyone just becomes like hired guns for the West rather than playing. Yeah, because that's the other thing. If you were from Manchester, say over here, we've got two teams in Manchester. You would, as a kid growing up, you'd be like, I want to play football for my home team, for Manchester United or Manchester City or whatever. Whereas that's not the ambition anymore. It's just like, who's going to pay me the most? Who's going to get me the most attention? That's who I want to play football for. And yeah, but that intro to basketball is just, it's applicable to soccer over here too. And most sports eventually, once money's made, but once you start moving towns and all the arenas, they're not called like something like homely, like the Mother Hen Arena or something with a bit of history to the local town or city it's in. It's just Capital One Stadium or the Chicken McNugget Arena, and it's just like you say, you've just ground all the soul and life out of it because everything is an advertisement.
Yeah, I'm from one of the sports meccas of the world with Boston. The Boston Celtics been around for over like 100 years, and the Red Sox and all this stuff. Like we had the Boston Garden, which they closed down, I want to say in the mid 90s, late 90s. And now it's TD Garden Arena. But before that, it's had a million name changes, but everybody just kept calling it the Garden. So now the corporations had bought into the brand somehow, and they like mesh the two, and it's like nobody calls it that, especially the old timers. Maybe the kids do now, but it's the Garden. That's what everybody calls it, because that's what it's been for like 100 years. It's not the TD Bank Arena, Twitter Center, whatever. So stupid. Corporations so stupid.
But then that'll change when that contract runs out and the current sponsor's like, we don't want to renew that. It's going to be too much. Mm-hmm. Somebody else then comes and pays it. And then it turns from the Capital One Arena to the KFC Arena or whatever. And I think it's Louisville. It's Louisville. They've got a really stupid name for one that Jim Cornette's mentioned before. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he said the name of an arena before, and it was a company-sponsored thing. And I had to look it up because I'm like, that is a stupid name. Why would you call an arena that? And then I looked and I'm like, oh, it's a company. There you go. That makes all the sense. So it's not even like a long-standing, but there's going to be no history made from it.
Yep. And John says, footy was the working man's game, and they were tough. Now we have prima donnas tripping up every 10 seconds in VAR and PRS, whatever that means.
Just video reaction replay. But yeah, they let the footballers wear gloves, and only the goalkeeper should wear gloves. But then the other lads would come in and be like, I'm stood around too much. I need some gloves for my little hands. I'm from somewhere warmer in Europe. I'm not used to English weather. It's like, then don't play football in England. Play football in Spain where it's warmer. It's cold here. That's part of the conditioning. That thickens your skin and toughens you up. Get over yourself and stop diving when that guy didn't go anywhere near you.
Well, I couldn't go over there and play a soccer game in a full triple fat goose, jacket and gloves and hoodie.
They'd probably let you nowadays if it had a Nike or an Adidas logo on it.
They had
or
the
something.
booty shorts on, right? For P. Diddy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible over here, John, too. I mean, it's the same thing. I literally can't watch basketball anymore. It infuriates me. I watched 1 minute of the finals this year, and I already knew they were going to give it to the Thunder, but they have the MVP on that team, Shai. They call him a foul baiter. So your best player, what you call the best player, it's not even him. Joker's the best player, but you can't deal with him because he's a big, fat, boring white guy. I get it. So you got the young black guy that foul baits everybody, and you're just going to be like, "Yep, he's the best." Can't even watch it. Foul baiting is just disgusting. And then he's just sitting at the free throw line all game, just getting free points because the refs allow it. The game sucks. All entertainment sucks. What are we going to do? I'm doing my best with this. All right. So come over to the channel. This is the place to be at. This stuff. And hopefully we can get into the scheme. So hopefully somebody will recognize I exist one of these days, and then we can start working with other people, and I can preach this gospel to them so we can maybe fix this stuff in the future, because it's all just slop. Bunch of slop. Yep. Did you see this the other day too? The ballpark Karen. Bring us back to here. Let's show some ballpark Karen action. I might have to look it up. Trending #1 over here. Just type in Karen and let's see what happens. So this woman at a baseball game last night, I don't know if you saw the video.
Ball hit the fan.
I saw the Polish CEO do something similar.
The Phillies fan came.
You saw something? What did you see about this?
It's not this one. There was a Polish fella, a CEO of a company, who pinched a hat off of a little kid when some sports.
The tennis game, right?
Was it tennis? Right, yeah. I did see that, and then he didn't see any problem with it, and he got a lot of shit online, didn't he?
Oh, a ton, and he should. Like, who are these people? So, this is what happens pretty much every game. People, if it's in the area, it's a baseball game, so it's not like a sellout. People go for the ball. So this guy got it. He brings it back to his kid. Apparently, it was his birthday, and that's why he went out of his way to do this, right? But this woman, she wasn't having any of it. She's like, "This was my ball." So there she is in the white. She looks like Elizabeth Warren. It sucks. These people suck. So there she is.
The Phillies fan came in, and he stole it from another Phillies fan.
Did he steal it? Oh, let's see. He picked it up away from her.
The Phillies fan came in, and he stole it from another Phillies fan. Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa!
Look at the way he shakes. Let's get a replay on that.
Yeah.
Watch his reaction. This is great.
Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa!
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Yup. We have a little infighting here.
He did give it to what I would assume is his son, maybe.
Okay.
It wasn't like he was keeping it for himself.
This lady's got to get it under control.
Look at this lady's got to get it under control. You got to love the fucking yuckster voice out of these newscasters. But yep.
The girl in the background, in the left-hand side of the screen, she's laughing.
He gives it back.
Right. What is going on?
Hey guys,
Did those announcers get it right? I mean, at first, of course, you're like, hey, he kind of did take it from her, but there are a bunch of other people looking for the ball, and they all would have taken it if they got it. He happened to be quicker than she was. He got the ball, and you see him bringing it to his son, a child. Okay, let the child have it. We're at a ball game. You know what I mean? This is
If that kid had gone to get the ball, she would have snatched it away from that child. Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
She would have snatched it away from the child. If they both went with the hands got so close, she wouldn't have gone, "Oh no, go on, you have it, you're a kid." She'd have been like, "Give me that fucking ball."
Problem hair. Problem glasses. Problem attitude. I mean, the trifecta was hit on this one. We know who this is. We've all been around this type of person, especially me, where I'm from. These are again, I'm not political. I don't stand up for any different kind. I'm not against anybody. But this specifically, white liberal woman, usually in middle management at some company, think they got this big head because they can tell people what to do, and then they do this out in public. How dare you? Look at him. He's hugging his son. Look at what I did for you, son. And she's like, hey, give me my stuff. That was mine. It was hit to me. Was it? And then after all this, you're going to take it from the kid? What?
Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa. Oh.
And just that getting in somebody's face like that that's such Karen behavior. That's exactly how they operate.
Came in and he stole it from another Phillies fan. Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa.
Oh. Easy.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Yup. We have a little infighting here.
He did give it.
He's like, she wants that ball. And he's like, yeah, so what?
Is his son.
Wow.
There's a sister, or I can't see how old the lass, I think it was a younger lass on the right-hand side of the camera, so the left-hand side of the kid, who's like grabbing his arm to make him like keep the ball away from the lady, because it's like she could see like that woman's going to try and snatch that off you. The dad should have just thrown it back on the field and been like, now none of us have it, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do. I don't even know if I would have thought of that quickly, because, she did run up on him and she startled him. He's like, ooh. So he probably wasn't thinking right. It was like, I just want her to go away, so just give her the ball, Yeah,
just throw it and say, fetch.
And go, woof, woof, woof. Yeah. She probably would have started swinging on you.
Like, sorry, I didn't realize it was your ball. I saw the other dogs chasing it. Fetch.
Mm-hmm. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter what you're into or whatever. I just wanted to bring that up because, that's kind of how those types of people act.
Oh, they don't do themselves any favors.
Right. But the guy a week ago, same situation. I love the way he doubled down on it. Like, let's not make this into a big thing now. It's like, who the fuck are you to say to anybody, let's not make me go viral or anything because of how the way I acted with children. It's like, no, that's not how you do. And then he came out with an apology letter that looked like it was written by ChatGPT or some publicity agency or whatever. Fuck these people, can't stand anybody, especially them. Come on, guys. Again, just at events, paying money, trying to do things normally, and we're surrounded by this.
Like main character syndrome. Everyone thinks they're the main character, and they can't comprehend this concept of other people. And to think that, maybe this would be a nice memory for a child to be like, hey, I've got this baseball my dad got for me at whatever game it was, and she was just like, I wanted that. That was for me. Give.
There was pictures of her carrying it around in her bag, So she took it home. It wasn't like, oh, I thought better of this. Even while the stadium or bringing him, they found out it was his birthday, so they started bringing him all kinds of stuff and everything, trying to make it right, because it would have been a bad look for the Phillies, the whole organization. The players met with the kid afterwards, so he was taken care of and everything. It's just, I
hope she got booed. I would have just started booing her.
Could you imagine? She didn't even realize any of this was happening unless she got home late. Because the very next morning, she probably woke up and found out, I'm the #1 Karen? Whoa, overnight.
Today, there'll be another one just like you tomorrow, love. You ain't special.
Yeah, people forget very quickly. Remember the people that were hugging each other at the Coldplay concert? We're way past that now. Had memes and everything. Got memes for this one, too. Let's see if I can find any.
Is this for the lady?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. I was going to say there's some memes.
Oh, there's got, there we go.
Karen Ball Snatcher.
Ball Snatcher. Oh, what else we got? Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. Come on.
Yeah.
Look at that. And then look at this.
It's almost like it's intentional. Look at top left. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, look at those
Yeah,
glasses.
she's a soccer great. As good as Michael Jordan is in soccer, in the footsies, as you call it.
That's like an Adam West era Batman villain. That's
They're all Batman villains.
Yeah, but that top left one specifically is just... I'm sure I remember seeing that character on the Adam West series.
There's more. But wait, there's more. There's people laughing at her. Look at that doll with Gollum. Oh, is that a real picture? Holy shit. She's like, I got the precious.
I've noticed how she's not got a ring on that finger.
Yikes. Oh, I love this one. They found the culprit. Karen Ball woman, Mark Cuban. Oh, the wanted poster was great. That's the first thing I saw last night. I'm like, what is going on here? Why is somebody after this lady now? And then I saw she's flipping people off.
Oh, so she didn't. Yeah, she's got no chance of like self-reflection or anything. I'm guessing all of that's cool. I like that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm guessing she still hasn't learned anything from all this, and she's still the victim.
She's got her own baseball cards now. Wow. Yep. So she's famous. Look at this, showing pictures on Trump. You got to do something about this, Trump. Come on. Let's go. Her and Dominic Mysterio, please. Yep. The boy's face, too. Like he's hugging her like an alligator's coming over. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Yeah. We got to deal with these people, Danny. What are we going to do with these people? Is deportation the way? It might be.
The humiliation. Just everyone stands and points and laughs. It's what we used to do to people that behave like this. We'd all just be like, fuck off, you've been ridiculous. And we'd just shoo them away and laugh at them. And they'd have no power. But instead, it's just like you say, she's got some HR job or something like that, middle management. And she's used to bossing people about. She's come out into the real world and delusions of grandeur. She's forgotten she's not at work and nobody gives a shit.
Hulk Hogan gearing up to give her a good potato. There she is. Yep. Elizabeth Warren. I love her. She's from my state, of course. I saw her this week. They had RFK go in. And, I'm no RFK fan. I think he's compromised. I think all these people are to a certain extent. But he's going in there trying to, they're like, you hate vaccines and you don't want anybody to get any vaccines and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like they're so owned by the pharmaceuticals. It's just like, come on. Who's buying this? You and Bernie Sanders.
I saw that. I saw some of that clip. Yeah. Fucking Bernie Sanders is just, oh my God.
Bunch of
bitch. It's just ridiculous. And Sanders has been told how much he's taken, and he doesn't deny it. He just starts listing off what other people have taken, and it's like, yep, that's not a denial, you idiot.
And this meme just had me rolling last night. Hard times create strong men create good times create white liberal women create hard times.
Yup.
There's something to that. It's not all them, of course, but When I first saw this meme last night in the middle of this mess, I was dying. I read it 15 times. So, man.
Yeah. Luxury beliefs. That's the problem. We get comfortable, complacent, and we develop luxury beliefs that have no place in reality.
Yep. We start allowing people that have no business running shit around here. All they do is run their mouths, right? Like The Rock says. Know your role. Shut your mouth. Oh, man. So, yeah, you know what? I got a few other wrestling notes and things. Do we really care, though? Street Fighter movies coming out. Cody's in that now. Big whoop.
Cody and Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Cody was just added recently, though, I believe. Right. WrestlePalooza is coming soon, but I'm not getting it. They want to go back to China. They were gearing up to go to China between 2016 and 2020. And then, that thing.
China.
China. Tony D to the main roster. Haven't seen him around lately. You know, the Mafia guy from NXT. They seem to really like him, and I think he could get over. It's a matter of they're creative, but I don't really think they're trying all that hard. Here's a funny story real quick. The Godfather, my boy Charlie, says he went to Vince's 80th birthday, and he said he was wearing a Dr. Evil suit. And he was introducing people to, I guess he's got a new girlfriend. And then...
Fucking hell, he's a right shagger, isn't he? He just can't give it a rest. He's 80 now, and it's just like, no, he's still going to get as much tail as he got before. He's at least going to try. There's no second gear for him. He's just top gear all the time.
And another funny note was from my other boy, who I also had dinner with. I'm friends with all of Vince McMahon's friends. We're all friends. Just me and you, Vince. Let's go out to dinner sometime soon. You know, before you croak, you fucking old you codger, right? You old fogey. Anyway, Teddy Long said that he was wearing a headset all night. Like walking around his birthday party wearing a headset because it made him feel like he was like back at work.
Okay. They've built a little gorilla position for him in his mansion somewhere, just so he can just pretend all day.
Good for him. I always thought I would have, if I ever got involved with Vince McMahon, I've heard he's had his, you know, his ups and downs, almost like he's like bipolar or something. But his sense of humor and everything he's into, I'm into that stuff too. He's wacky, he's weird. Yeah, sometimes that's the fun stuff. You know, he acts childlike sometimes. That's fun. You know, he's not necessarily super serial all the time. And I think if you have a boss like that or something, I don't see how that's bad for business. That helps things, in my personal opinion. Having somebody that's super strict, got no funny bone in their body or anything, it's the worst.
Yeah, but getting pushed into a swimming pool and fully dressed is fucking annoying. And that was always the funniest thing to Vince. It's like the funniest thing you could think of doing to somebody is luring them over near a swimming pool whilst they're fully clothed and just pushing them in, because it's such an inconvenience to the other person. And you get to see their faces, they go, splash. And
yeah.
Him saying that's his like one of his favourite things to do was just like, yeah, that you just love to fucking aggravate people and make them uncomfortable.
And 50 Cent's in that movie too, yeah, right? Balrog, yep. He's Balrog. Some of these movies, they sound pretty good. The casting sounds neato, but you know,
it's not enough. It's not enough to. I know I bang on about my review of the live-action One Piece, but it's just another example of, yeah, you can get actors whilst dressed up who look the part, but you could do that at most Comic Cons as well. And it's all right to find like Roman Reigns to dress as Akuma, and I'm guessing Cody's Guile or Charlie.
Guile, yeah, I believe.
Guile, yeah. And then Balrog. So yeah, you can get people to dress up as them, but is a film really necessary? Is a new series really necessary? It's just a nice novelty idea of be like, oh look, real people dressed up like computer graphics or cartoon animated drawing or whatever. We don't fucking need it. They've just done a remake of The Running Man. I think they're releasing it soon.
The old one's so good already. I know it's kind of campy and weird, but that's the way I like it.
Yeah.
But also, again, the Matrix. That's the last movie I remember seeing the trailer and going, this is going to be really good. And I've never heard of it before. Everything now it's already been done before. It's either been done in comic form, book form, or it's been done in movie form a few times over. So, yeah, the movies, they lost me a long time ago.
They're doing bloody board games. Like they did Clue. They've done some Barbie. That's not even a board game. It's just a toy. It's just a doll. They're doing Guess Who and just other board games they're making into films because they've just run out of ideas. It's embarrassing. Let AI swallow them for like 10, 20 years, and then they can be like, hey, look, we're bringing people back into writing. That'll be interesting, won't it? Remember that novel concept?
That will happen. They're going to...
they may as well just embrace it. Embrace it now, Hollywood.
They're going headfirst into AI. People will get quickly over it, And then they're going to start selling things as human made. Yeah. This is all human made, guys. And then we're going to start getting all these like weird, problems for people in the industry because they'll be caught using AI when they said it's human. It's going to be all this stuff. But yeah, it sucks. It's just like, how can we don't need AI for this stuff. We got it. Even the old timey way of doing things film wise, where how they would do film in like the 30s and 40s, making things kind of like psychedelic, using real smoke and trash bags and, placing things in different ways so the camera can hit it. That's way better than your CGI and your AI just making things out of thin air. Nothing. It just seems wonky. It's never gonna look right, I don't think. And even if they do get it to look right, it's soulless. There's nothing there. Nobody actually put it there except ones and zeros.
Yeah. It's just low effort.
Never heard of him. Hiroki Goto as E Honda. Casting agent is a mark. Oh, he must be a Japanese wrestler. Yes, I'm sure I've heard the name, but do you have anything else to tell the people out here? That's pretty much the end of my notes. I got a few more, but again, nobody needs to hear about this stuff. And maybe this week.
You mentioned the Coldplay concert after we saw the baseball bit, and that just reminded me of, did you see the video that went viral at the Korn concert?
Recently?
Yeah.
No.
A guy was... So you've got the ground seating at a venue, and then you've got the upper ring. Mm-hmm. The guy was sat on the front of the upper ring, just jacking it whilst watching Korn. There's like 5 or 6 seats behind him, people filming him and like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And they eventually got security to come and chuck him out, and some other guy just went behind him and just smacks him on the back of the head really hard. But yeah, just a guy wrecked watching Korn, a live Korn performance, just pulled it out and started going for it. So people rightfully kicked him out.
Last time I saw something like that, a couple months ago, it was at I think a baseball game, and a guy is, knuckle deep in some chick right in the middle of everybody, just going to town on it, and everybody's filming it, just going, what? Like in the middle of a baseball game? Okay. He got mashed up. That's pretty funny. Imagine you get your dick all out. And then you're getting beat up from behind. Oh, you guys got to get your act together, humans. You guys are being really weird lately, especially the past 10 years. Forget about it, man. But hey, everybody, join us over here. Go to the little link tree, hit all the buttons. If you're not subscribed right now, if you're not liking this video right now, what do we got to do? Treat you like a masturbating man at a Korn concert? Probably should. Slap you around a little bit because you're doing wrong, just like what you're doing there. It's the same thing, masturbating in a Korn concert and not subscribing and sharing this show. Identical as far as felonies around Huge Studios. Thank you very much. Tell everybody where you're going to be, Danny, and what you would like them to see.
DannyDamage.co.uk, and I'm on Twitter at BluntDamage. All the other links are on the website. I waffle an absolute load of shit about many things. Feel free to find me and just start talking to me about stuff. No, games, music, comics, anime. One Piece, especially One Piece, is so fucking good at the minute. There's over 1,000 episodes, issues. If you don't like long form, it's not for you, but if you do, start it, give it a go.
What says John says, did you ever meet Dynamite Kid as you're a man? See?
I think it's meant to say Mank, as in like Manchester, someone from Manchester.
Oh, okay.
But no, I'm not from Manchester. I'm just not from London. Everything north of London sounds very different.
Mm-hmm. I'm from England too, but New England.
New England, right? You've got a lot of that over there. New England and New York and New Hampshire, and quite an easy way to just start naming towns and cities. Is just like, so the place we didn't want to be, we'll just use some of their names and just put New at the beginning. I'm sure nobody will notice.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good old New England. And do they call it Old York over there?
Just York.
Oh, yeah.
Just York.
I should add old. When we went to new, they went, oh, well, that means we're old now.
It used to be really nice, did that place, but it seems to be like one of the worst for like wokeness in universities and just pandering to all this crap that was just bothered both countries, yours and mine. But yeah, sure it's got loads of nice places still, but I used to go there quite a bit. It's quite a nice little place. But yeah, it's just causing its own problems nowadays.
Problems everywhere around here. We need Trump to clean up everything, right? Come on, Trump. Get your warp speeds. Get your, your Space Force together. Whatever you got to do.
I don't know if... Sorry, go on. I was going to say, I don't know if you've seen anything that's happened over here in the last week, but we've got rid of the second in command. She's gone. We allowed her to resign. We should have kicked her out. She's a fucking incompetent thief. She apologised, but it's just one of those where she's sorry she got caught having 3 homes and then criticising people for having 2 homes and not paying taxes. And they've replaced her with an absolute buffoon who's just our foreign secretary, who a few years ago just called Trump a racist, moron, vile, disgusting, fascist and all this lot. And it's like, that's our foreign secretary talking about the president of like the biggest other country and one of our longest allies. And it's just like, the optics aren't good. And he believes you can grow a cervix with medicine and surgery. It's terrible. We've just made him the second in command. So it's like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
My goodness. This guy, John, knows everybody. Tell him to come on the show, will you? Next time you talk to Dynamite Kid, will you? Thank you. Anyway. All right, that does it for us, everybody. Another classic episode. Maybe join us this week. I may have another Live in Me tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow with all the football going on. But you know what? I'm only watching the Patriot games from now on. I'm sticking local with things. I'm going physical media. Maybe Monday night we can do some talking about wrestling and things. I got Netflix for a couple more weeks, so I'm getting rid of all of it. Highlights only. It's all I need. So
I'm gonna get Paramount Plus again at some point because there's a couple of the newer seasons of Beavis and Butthead, and that South Park documentary with the Casa Bonita restaurant, which quite interested in. But yeah, I don't get like subscription services very often, but I'll wait for things to build up and then I'll be like, right, I'm going to get that for a month and I'm just going to smash the absolute shit out of everything I can, and then I'm going to just discontinue it for another year or two.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. I think I actually have Paramount at the moment for some reason. Maybe it was Beavis and Butthead. Maybe. Either way, I'm going to go watch some, maybe right now. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. You have a good night. Danny, everybody out there, have a great rest of your evening all over the world. And we'll catch you later.